You hear great jazz on GJRB with the best of jazz, up-and-coming jazz, and smooth afternoon. If you can't get enough of jazz and you live in the Quad Cities area, tune in to KALA, St. Ambrose University in Davenport, Iowa, at 88.5 on the FM dial. Along with some of that great smooth jazz, you'll hear a lot of great jazz programming, and programming in other great music formats, like blues, urban, including rap, also classic R&B and Motown with David Baker on Rewind, Friday nights at 6 p.m. Central. In addition, you get programming in Spanish and some great gospel programming too. For more information on that great programming you'll hear, check out their schedule at www.sau.edu/KALA. Even if you don't live in the Quad Cities area, you can enjoy KALA anywhere in the world with their internet stream. Connect with KALA. Listen and enjoy. This summer is going to be hot with the GJRB Freestyle Summer. Longer broadcast days, added shows, and more music days. I'll be on location with the GJRB Bike for a Man on the Street segment, asking the people of Clinton questions and getting opinions on current news events. The GJRB schedule will change frequently, so watch for the GJRB Schedule Update podcast on the Spreaker public site. Freestyle Summer starts in June on GJRB. Imagine one day tuning around on your internet radio only to find a station playing old radio programs complete with commercials and thinking, what am I tuning into? The past? You might be, or it's just GJRB Online and Radioland. A day of nothing but classic radio shows back to back with classic commercials in between, like the days of radio. Almost like your computer is picking up signals through time. Closer than you'll ever get to time travel. Radioland.
This is Michael J. Martin, and you're listening to the Gary Russen program on GJRB Online.
And welcome back to the Gary Russen program on GJRB Online on Spreaker across America and around the world as we continue our program. And, of course, like I said before, we're going to be taking another break locally. And then we're going to go non-stop talk in our last half hour. So if you'll join us as we continue the Gary Russen program. And also, we'll have the lines open. We're going to do scroll through social media coming up. And that's always fun to do that. We're going to get into that. And have that set up for you. And so I hope you'll stay with me here on GJRB Online, here on Spreaker for that. The Gary Russen program here on GJRB Online. And getting a lot of things set up for that. I'll give you our program schedule coming up once again, too, in this segment of the program. We'll do another rundown of that. But don't forget that tomorrow I'll be recording the GJRB podcast there. So be aware of that. Okay, we're going to be doing a reschedule of that for you. And giving you a chance to do that. I thought I had that on there. Where's that other Heartbreak? Okay, I might have to repeat Heartbreak 1, because I thought I had another Heartbreak I wrote on. Where could that be? All right, anyhow, what I'll probably do then is take another break about 4:30 here, and then we're going to come back with another edition. So we're going to stay here for 15 minutes, a little less than that, and we're going to take a little break. But I thought what we'll do right now is do what I call the scroll through social media. So why don't we just do that, get started on that. We're going to start on Facebook, and then we're going to go on through that into Twitter and Google+. So we're going to go into that here. I want to get down there and put that in as we get started with Facebook and all that good stuff. So let's do that. All right, let's do that right now. The Gary Russen program on GJRB Online on Spreaker across America and around the world. Let's get in to some Facebook to start off with. as we usually do, start off with that and see what responses are going on. And we'll have sports page coming up on the other side too in our next segment. But I just heard a break. One of the congratulations, big congratulations go out to the Cleveland Cavaliers, who won. I guess it's their first win in a long time. They haven't had a win in a while, but the Cavaliers won their first game since 1964. So we'll talk about that on the sports page. Cavaliers won. Congratulations to the Cavaliers for winning that. We'll talk about that coming up on sports page a little later on here on GJRB Online here on Spreaker. And we'll get into that and a whole lot more stuff. And I don't know, the Cubs are playing the Cardinals today. We'll find out that score too. And down the line, the page here, I'm going to look around for some other interesting stories. What a big shout out today. We haven't done a shout out in a while. Remember we used to do that? A big shout out to some people on Facebook who may be listening, or might be just in the neighborhood to listen to the program. Okay. If you're one of those, you want to be in there, you can do that. And be a part of the program. You want to give me a call, you can do that too. But shout out. Usually what I do is I go on through Facebook and see who's listening on Facebook. Maybe listening on Facebook. I've been looking at my public site over the last hour, and they've been some giant goose eggs on my show. As a matter of fact, I'm on a public site right now. Giant goose eggs on my show right now. All the way down. No one's listening this afternoon to our show since we started. We did have 3 listeners live in our first part. Then about part 2 and 3 and 3_5, we lost you. And we're in the 4th part. As you know, 3_5 means it's the half-hour mark of the 3 o'clock hour. This way, when I go into 4, I mean it's 4 o'clock hour. So that's why I do that. And I said that yesterday during our Positive Rock show as well. That's usually what that means. I'm going to do this. I'm going to extend our programming here a little bit. And we're going to go into the next segment with what I call 4_5. That means it's the other side of the 4 o'clock hour. Okay? 4 and 5, 4.5, meaning 4.5. Okay? So we're in the 4th part in the second half hour. So 4_5 means the next half hour of the 4 o'clock hour, from 4:30 to 5 o'clock. That's what that means. That tells me where I'm at as far as what shows have been downloaded, what I need to do to download them, getting some of the stuff I need for next part, or let me know what part of the show I'm at. Now, the final part will be the one between 5 and 5:30, which is our last half hour, okay, which is coming up. That'll be our final half hour, 5 to 5:30, and that'll be it for the Gary Russen program today. But this is one of these short, mediocre type of shows, off-the-cuff type of thing, to see if I can get some audience and also spread the show around. So we're going to be doing that in the last hour of the Gary Russen program. We'll be spreading the show around, seeing who's out there, and we'll be broadcasting straight through. So at that point, and we're going to even jump the local 5 o'clock news at this point. So we're going to do that. I can do that because I am. My 9-foot signal's not even on the air. Okay? I'm just doing it as if I was on the 9-foot signal, which means that it's practice for me to do this program that way so that I can do better next week. Now, I'm going to be on the air next week for another edition of the Gary Russen program at 2 o'clock Central. We're going to do it at the 2 o'clock hour. We're going to do it again, 2 o'clock live, for the Gary Russen program next Wednesday. And that will be the last show on a Wednesday for a while. And then we're going to take a break from that for a while, and then we're going to be moving the show over, and we're going to do a show on Friday coming up. I've got a couple of shows lined up on a Tuesday and another Wednesday show. And, of course, on Friday, July 15th, we're going to be doing another Gary Russen program live stream video on YouTube. Okay, as the Gary Russen program does Hangout once again. So I hope you'll join me for that program. That'll be available right here on GJRB Online here on Spreaker. Now, I usually don't record that. I don't do that show with the Spreaker web-based, only on the Spreaker, Studio. Okay, when I do that. Okay, only on Spreaker Studio. And I do that so that I could do a simulcast with that. Now, I just learned, according to Google, and I'm going to look at that, I think I can, apparently with my V cable device, I can connect my my GJRB Online on Spreaker with my Google Plus Hangout. So I'm going to be trying that this next broadcast. Going to be doing that. I think it's going to be kind of cool to try it that way. And I'm going to kind of skip the weather right now. I'm not doing weather on the 5s all that much because right now it's pretty much generally the same thing, especially for people listening in the Midwest. We're under threat of severe weather coming up a little later on. And I'm going to keep my eye on that weather. Last half hour, the weather we had scattered precipitation pretty much throughout, scattered precip. And it's been pretty much to the northeast of us, and around Rockford. That you guys are all under a flash flood watch through pretty much everybody from here clear on over. So be keeping an eye on that, and I'll let you know what's going on that. We're going to take a break here. And like I said before, the next half hour, straight on through, non-stop talk coming up on the Gary Russen program here on GJRB Online, here on Spreaker. Hope you're enjoying the program. If you want to be part of the show, we'd love to hear from you on our line. But, like I said, if you just joined in, I'll know because I'll go into my public site, as I always do, go to my public site and I refresh it. And I see if there's anybody out there listening, if there's any single audience. I've been having mini segments right now, 15 minutes or less. And I guess that's losing audience, but we'll be right back. I got more of the Gary Russen program coming up next on GJRB. Hang in there. We'll be right back.